What's going on? It's DIS Swirly. I'm here with DIS Boppinz.
What's up?
I'm also here with DIS Tiger.
Yo, yo.
We're doing this video to show you how to set up a drift car in Forza Motorsport 5. If you never played the Forza Motorsport series and you just got Forza Motorsport 5, here's how to properly set up a drift car and possibly get you going sideways.
We don't claim to be experts, but this
I
is
know.
what we figured out. We just like to share our knowledge. So,
The car we're going to be using today is the Mazda RX-7 FD. The only reason we're using this car is because this is my personal favorite car. To make this video work for you,
you're going to need to go and buy the 1997 RX-7 FD.
Now, pause the video or else we'll leave you behind. So, pause the video, go buy the car, and we'll be here when you get back.
Pop that off.
welcome back. You're gonna have to go into the upgrade menu of the car at the tune shop. Go all the way to the right. Go to the V8 motor swap, the 5.7 liter. The reason I picked this motor is because it has an excellent balance for power and torque for me.
And torque is very important in the game. Torque is almost more important than horsepower. You got to have enough power to drive over your tires when you need to do so.
You threw the supercharger on there too. The twin screw,
I had to go a little
positive
wing.
displacement. It just sounds good. That's why we use that.
See,
Sounds
what
good.
we're doing here, guys, you should pause the video at any point where you need to see what particular part is going on the car. We're just flashing through this so that you can see what goes on. Don't feel bad about having to stop, pause the video, look at what the part is, purchase it on your vehicle, and then, hit play on the video again. We'll be here.
And if you saw, I just put the sport cams on. And the reason I put the sport cams on is because it does bump up the rev limiter for the motor. But
And the LS1 doesn't have a high red line, but giving it the sport cams will give it a higher red line. And the reason why race cams aren't chosen is race cams are just empty horsepower. You'll see there's very little torque benefit by going with race cams, just a lot of empty horsepower, not giving you any real benefit that you're not getting out of the sport cams.
And I don't know what it is, but I used to run race cams on most of my tunes in previous Forzas, but in Forza 5, I tend to not use race at all, like sport or street most of the time. What I
I
do.
don't know. I used to do the same thing, and then my eyes got
Yeah.
opened by the old man.
Yeah. I just like a high red line. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, and the red line will if you put race on, the red line will go up, but it's marginal, and it just puts a lot of PI on your car. You're not getting any benefit out of.
Red line was actually my nickname in middle school, by the way. Not
I
really.
I
I'm
don't
just
even
kidding.
want
don't
to
even know
ask.
if I want to know why.
That's not even true.
All right, and as you see right now, we're going through the suspension upgrades. You fully want to upgrade the suspension because you just want full tuning capability of what you want your car to do.
Always, when you're drift tuning, go ahead and upgrade your suspension.
And you
And
see
I
it's
would
Or if
working
you're
say
for the
skid
roll
racing.
cage.
in Forza 5 versus any other previous Forza, brakes are a necessity. It's not just something you can let go by the wayside if you choose to. Brakes in this game are much more realistic, and if you go with a set of stock brakes, go hauling into a corner, you're going to slide right off the track. The brakes are an absolute must have in this game. And if you noticed, Swirly just put sport tires on the car. A lot of people will leave street tires or stock tires on the car, pump a bunch of horsepower in, thinking that that's the best way to make it very slippery, very greasy. And what'll happen is they'll end up spinning like a top. To drift correctly, there is a bit of grip is absolutely needed. You do not want to forego the grip. You want to have this great balance where you have grip when you need it and enough horsepower to power over that grip. You don't have to have a million horsepower in this game. A lot of people used to think in previous Forzas you had to have, seven, 800 horsepower. You can drift 200 and 300 horsepower cars in this game all day. Okay, so when you get done learning this, stuff that we're about to show you, and we move on. When you move on to start tuning other cars on your own, don't think that you have to build a 700 horsepower car to be efficient in your drifting.
Yeah, and keep in mind this tune is not built necessarily for points drifting. We
Or at
typically
all.
do uh, drift battling, tandeming, that kind of drifting. That to us is more rewarding than points.
And when you get to the
Not knocking
body
it.
kit, rock what you want to rock, and you don't have to rock this ugly wing that Swirly loves. Looks like a picnic table on the back of his car,
Oh,
but
why you
that's
gotta
him.
hate on
Oh
the wing,
God,
dude? Why you gotta
with
hate on the wing?
cardboard on the side, dude. Oh my God.
It's not for downforce. My wing is not for downforce. It's for looks.
It's for horsepower.
Yeah,
It goes
just
vroom
just
vroom.
like when you add all kinds of JDM stickers, it adds horsepower.
So what we're going to do now is go into the tuning aspect of it.
You
So
go
if you
into
got any questions,
upgrades and hit X to get into tuning. By the way.
well,
And if you see,
Are
we
we?
just had some tire pressure, and it was set to 45-25. And I know that's going to seem odd to some people who have played previous Forzas, and that wouldn't work in any previous Forza. But this is Forza 5, and it's a little more realistic. Like in real life, if you look at any drift car, their tires have been stretched to give it a little bit of rounding to the tire, and that's so that you have a bigger contact patch when the car is in drift and the tire is leaned over. You'll get a stronger contact patch, and that's how it works in this game. You round out the front tire like that, and you will find that it will be much nicer when you're sideways.
And we don't claim to be experts or anything like that. We're not trying to like act all high and mighty, but this is
No,
just what works for
it's just
us,
what works
and we'll
for
try to
us.
just help you out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what that dude
yep,
said. What that dude said
yeah.
right there. We just if it's working for us, and some people we've noticed on the forums, and just talking to people are really having problems with it, making that transition from Forza's previous to now. If we can help, we're trying to help. Now,
And
if
this
you look
is our
here,
personal tune.
oh, go ahead, sorry.
Uh, this is my personal tune. This is just the way I set up cars. And of course, once you get the feel for it, once you get the feel for tuning the car yourself, you can change things around to what suits your style better.
Yeah, and if you guys at any time have a question about anything that's happened in this video, feel free to post in the comments, and one of us will try to answer it for you as to why we did what we did with the tuning, or why Swirly straps picnic tables to his cars. Any question you have, we'll try to answer.
Oh, you're cute.
I am cute.
Alright, right now, just go back into the upgrade shop and hit Y on your controller, the Xbox One controller, and just pick a track that you feel comfortable on.
As
The
opposed to a 360 controller.
Yeah, you never know. There are modders out there, but the track we're picking right now is Catalunya School. Um, that's just my personal tuning track. I like going there, tuning, feeling how the cars feel, all that good stuff. All right. And right now, I'm just revving up the car, vroom vroom. I'm going to pull up my telemetry. The reason I'm pulling up the telemetry is because I want y'all to see what I'm doing, like how much gas I'm using, how much brake, e-brake, clutch, you know, the steering angle, and all that good jazzery. And the reason I went in in-car view is because it is easier to see the numbers, instead of I mainly drift third-person view.
I drift
What
in car. This is beautiful to me. This is the way you do.
what assist do you use, Swirly, when you try to skid race?
Don't you ever in your life, man. The assist I use is I just mainly use ABS. You can have ABS off, you know. It's
Yeah,
just
that's a preference at this point, but make sure, and this is something we probably should have said before you load it in, and if you need to back out and take care of it, you do not need traction control, stability management, any other assist besides the ABS will prevent you from drifting effectively.
Yes, go ahead and turn all that off. Mm.
yeah,
But if you notice,
yeah. That coffee
he's
must taste great.
oh my bad. I didn't think y'all could hear that.
Anyway, after Boppins is
It's a
done
wonderful
slurping his
blend.
coffee, we're going to tell you about what's going on here. If you notice,
Damn.
look at his steering. There's a little steering indicator on the screen. You'll find that a lot of times he'll be at full lock, which is something you weren't really able to do on controller in previous games unless you really worked at it. Okay, but in this game, if you tune the car similar to what we've got going on here, It really affords you the ability to hold a lot of full lock counter steer, and you'll find it to be smoother. And if you notice, when he comes out of the turn, his car doesn't immediately whip in any direction. That has a lot to do with doing the damping the way it does, and those tires. They will help you, and take anything. If only one thing out of any of the tuning that we do helps you, that then we feel good about it. Just anything that'll help you, take it and run with it.
Yeah,
And
and I think the best thing is trying to find that lock, that pocket that you can lock the car into. And what I've noticed in this game, if this helps anybody, is just when you think, like in Forza 4, when you thought the car was going to go, you had to kind of let off the throttle and then, ease back on the right time. Here, it almost feels like you need to just keep on the throttle when you think you're going to spin sometimes. I don't know if that happens to you guys, but a lot of
It
times I
does.
feel like
It's
just
way
that's the
different.
yeah,
solution. Yeah.
I
It's
feel it. You feel it when that car hooks into the corner.
Yeah, like you get just as much forward motion as you would sideways motion in this game now, so that's pretty cool.
And
And
I'm
here's
sorry to
another thing
interrupt
we
you here.
haven't. Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but one thing that we forgot to say throughout this whole video is that you want to keep your car in A class.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
You
That's
don't
true.
need 9 million horsepower to drift in this game. A class is the new S class. If you've done
Yeah.
previous Forzas, you build a car to S class stats in those games, you will have an A class car with the same stats in this game. That is how you want to do it. Now, another thing that we didn't broach that needs to be broached before this video ends is the rumble in the triggers. If you learn to pay attention to it, it will help you a lot. When you're sideways in the car, you can read when your car is about to go by feeling your rumble. Once you get used to it and the rumble starts to, once you start to hold sideways, there will be a time where you feel it and it'll make sense to you. Okay, I'm pushing the car too hard. I need to let off of it or whatever. That will come with time, but it is there. So just keep an eye out for how the rumble feels on your fingers.
And we hope this video was informative for you. And we hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, give us some feedback. And if you do like it again, we can go ahead and try to do another video. I don't know. I'm going to leave this one to y'all.
Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you guys checking in. Hopefully, we have more content to show you guys, and like, rate, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. But thanks for watching.